the concierge it's somewhat of a new concept to our industry, right? Not within IEB circles. I think the conversation's been had for a while. We've been thinking about it for a while. Can you break it down for, say, the inspector listening who's like, what's a concierge service? I'm not that.
I want to interject something before you say that. Sorry. I saw, because before Ashley, I did the growth and out and about in the offices, this concierge thing. In fact, I met with somebody and who started a company here in DFW. What I saw from concierge was just really a means of gaining data. And so it was more about how can we get in there and get to be part of that relationship and get referrals from the agents or from, get the client's information. And so it really was just under the guise of concierge. And really they wanted to sell them alarms. That's really what I saw in the very beginning. And so that was just their foot in the door. But, so our concept is way different. So go ahead.
Well, a concierge in general is just exactly what you would think of like a hotel when you go. It's just not, it's kind of different and revolutionized in where it's all can be done virtual over the phone, texting, emailing. Whereas like a hotel, you sit in front of someone and they help you. But that's essentially the same concept. You sit with us on the phone, you tell us what your needs are, and we fulfill those needs for you. So in the real estate services industry, that's specifically usually moving into a home and maintaining it. So helping you get utilities, insurance, movers, all of that stuff. And then later when you're in the home, you're going to need a handyman, you're going to need a plumber. So it's being the one-stop shop for the homeowner and anything you will need from your home, from foundation to the roof. And yeah, in 2019, when we started, it was a little unheard of. People were very cautious and suspicious of this free service that you get when you get a home inspection. And now, actually, when we talk to people in 2021, it's kind of a norm where we are in DFW. Moving companies have concierge services. Other inspection companies have it. A lot of home warranties have it.
Inside some offices, agencies,
real estate
dedicated concierge services.
But we started it to honestly protect client data and build that relationship, like I said earlier, because when Mom said a lot of people just wanted to expand on client data and sell it to other companies. And we wanted to do the opposite. We wanted to keep it all in-house and protect the client's data rather than selling it and profiting off of it from other people's expense.
Yeah, and connecting them to trusted professionals. I mean, it gets taking care of the client. Otherwise, they're just Googling it, landing on a home advisor Angie's list, and having potentially a poor experience.
Right, exactly. That's the value proposition we have is, finding vendors that fix things through our eyes, inspector eyes, so that it protects their equity of their home, right? They go to sell it, it's been done right. But I remember when, like Blake was saying, most inspectors want to hand you the report and never hear from you again, right? And let sleeping dogs lie. And I remember we got the framework together, we had enough vendor partners, and we made this big, massive email blast to our previous customers, like 3,600 of them. And I'm like shaking. Do I really want to hit this send button? Are y'all ready in the office and all that? Because, you're poking sleeping dogs, right? But Blake's like, no, if we're going to build a relationship with them, we got to be able to talk to people. And we got to be able to, engage them. And if they've got complaints and whatever. So, yep, all right, you're right. Boom, hit it. And then out of all that, we had maybe 15 people like, oh, yeah, I remember you guys. I never complained, but I do want to say this, whatever. But then you learn that's an opportunity to engage them, and turn that into a loyal customer.
Yeah, it's not being scared of the growth. It's not being scared to deepen the relationship. That makes me think, for anyone that's used MailChimp, when you used to send a mass email, it would literally show the shaking, sweating finger, press the button. That's what that is.
Yeah.
One other thing, like Ashley and her team are able to use this as a marketing tool as well, because it does help the agent. It takes a lot off their plate. You want to talk about that, Ashley?
Yeah, Ashley, in specific too, I want to hear, because some inspectors, the pushback will be, oh, well, my agent has a plumber. I don't want to step on their toes. I'm like, well, you could have a conversation with them and maybe communicate and then talk it out. So I want to hear, yeah, how that goes over with agents.
Yeah, I mean, really, everything starts with a conversation. You know, for me, I was so excited when Concierge came out because I saw the value, and the agents immediately saw the value as well. And so it's been so instrumental in the growth of the inspection side to be able to market Concierge, and, you know, all of the things that come along with that. And I think real estate's changing too. You know, it's so fast paced, and you know, they're looking for companies that can come out and take something off of their plate. And that's really how we started marketing it at first. You know, we would say, you know, if you use, you know, Concierge, it can save you this much time, and you're not going to have to sit on the phone and find these vendors. But I did have that, you know, I had that obstacle come up, like, well, I have my own vendors. It didn't come up often, though, I'll say. But when it did, it was like, great. Give me your vendor's number. Let me talk to your plumber. I would love to, you know, add your plumber to our concierge list. If you love them so much and they're amazing, let's get them some more business. And so it's like a win-win for everyone, you know?
Or we would, yeah, or we just tell the agent, give us your list, we'll put it in your notes, and we'll connect your people to your for no cost.
Right.
You know, because you're locking in that agent to use you again as an inspection.
Absolutely. It just really helps build that trust. You're sitting there caring about not only them and their time, but their buyer or their seller and what's happening to them, you know, even from the point where they let them go and they're living in the home, you know, we're still caring for their client. And so that's really important. It really helps to retain, you know, these top real estate agents that we have on board. And I think too, you know, bringing it back to the vision, we have a very expanded vision. And so it's kind of, you can liken it to, oh, if you dress like $1,000,000, people are going to believe you. You know, we're walking out and like presenting ourselves like, I mean, we are, you know, $1,000,000. And so these top producing real estate agents want to attach and tether themselves to us. They see our vision, they buy into it. They see that we're, you know, building other brands and other companies, and they love it. They want to be a part of something big.
I love this, and I think you're adding value. And let's be honest, most agents don't want this on their plate. It's extra phone calls. Some of them see it as liability, and I bet you 95% don't even have a solid vendor list that they keep up with and that they maintain quality on. How was the build out of the vendor list? Like, how did that go? Were companies pitching you all? Were you going out and finding high quality providers? Because that in itself is like a couple full-time jobs, right?
Jeff, do you want to start with that? Since you got
Me?
the first big, you guys got the big fish.
We would just call and find that, you know, see, usually you're watching, like, for instance, electrical, I would see, when I was inspecting, I'd see certain stickers on panels. I'm like, this one's done right. This one's done right. So when I got in the office, I was like, I'm going to call these people. I went and met them, you know, and talked to them. And I see where you guys do right. We'd love to have you as a partner. And you'd pitch them. And then you just kind of, what we would do is we would say, well, we're working towards an agreement, but let's just try this together. No money's exchanged, whatever. I'll send you clients. If it works for you, it works for us. We'll check in each other's values out. You know, you call the customer right away, and then we would circle back around and have to try and get an agreement with them and move forward. But it would just, you know, you just open up the conversation. So sometimes we tried to have a bare bones list, and then it was driven by need. If we got a call that, okay, we don't have that person. All right, let's go find it. We'd start researching Delta column, whatever. I mean, this is what we do now. Different markets that we expand to.
Have you all ever overwhelmed a partner because of your volume that you do? Have you ever had a partner be like, guys, I can't handle any more business?
Yeah, we have a couple HVAC companies. We actually just had to find another moving company because they had to raise their prices and they couldn't handle our volume. So we have done that in the past, but I would say that the first step would be to, finding a really good moving company, a really good home insurance company that you can partner with, and how you're going to get those utilities set up. That was kind of what the framework that we started with. And then, like Jeff said, you kind of go with your needs from there. And now we have a vendor relations growth rep that finds the vendors, so we're not constantly having to search. And we do have people who call and say, how can we get on your vendor list? We've heard about this and we want to join. So that part's been really cool to watch that part grow.